Right,
As soon
because
as you
see,
start saying it,
the younger generation, we depended upon OGs like you to give us that because some old school artists didn't really accept hip hop. They didn't want to let us use their music. They didn't want to let us sample it because they felt like we was just degrading their music as opposed to us
that's
upgrading and bringing their music to a different audience.
that's always the case. The older ones think that the new ones are corny and that they degrading it and it ain't what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And you have to like, hey, I understand that. I want to find out what they doing with it. If it don't get on my nerve, I know it ain't no good. If it get on my if it get on my nerve, I know it's the next shit, and I'm gonna learn what they doing with it. I don't care how corny it sound to me, cause I'm grown. But
Right.
I want to figure out what the fuck they doing with it, cause I know it's gonna work. That's how they
So,
weed out. That's how they weed out us old motherfuckers, but who ain't down.
so, how did you feel when disco came and tried to kill the funk?
Well, I knew we had a serious job. That's why we did Knee Deep. Remember that was
Knee deep
it,
was the answer to disco.
it was called Rescue Dance Music from the Blahs. That's
Woo!
what we called it. That was our mission. I mean, disco, I don't dislike disco. It's just that it only had that one beat. That's
Right,
what we didn't like. We wanted to experience, move around. Disco is good as hell because I mean it's funk all the time.
right,
You know, we just didn't like it pimping just that one beat. You get tired of one stroke. If you
right.
ain't got no, if you ain't got no moving around syncopation. You know, somebody gonna tell you to fax that shit in.
So, who was the guy that was actually the one that was arranging all of those vocals on those Funkadelic Parliament records? Because the arrangement was out of here.
I made in a whole bunch of people doing that. You had, you know, a lot of people recognize Gary Sider, Joni Morrison, you know, but one that started with me that right from Testify that's been on pretty much every record was called Pat Lewis. She's out of she's out of Detroit. She sung on the Andantes on Motown, Four Tops, and everybody on that label. But other than that, she sang on all of the Funkadelic early records. Most people would know her as Hot Butter and Soul with Isaac Hayes.
Yes.
That was her. She's the one that pretty much got us all into arranging an overload of harmonies. And once she got me started, I got Gary, did it with the hooks and the puns and the stacking of voices. All of that goes all the way back to even Phil Spector. They call it
Mm.
Wall of Sound, you know.
But then
But those,
y'all had like a opera sound. It wasn't just like
that's
R&B. Y'all had like opera. That,
that's what I'm saying. All
oh,
those people put it all together, you get like opera sound. And Bernie Worrell, who was the keyboardist, knew how to make it classically to get it voiced, you know, when we want to do something different. I could just go to him and he would just voice it on the piano. And like I said, Gary was church. I just mixed everything all the information that I was familiar with, that I worked with. Joni Morrison came in from the Ohio Players, and we were doing One Nation and then Knee Deep. That was a whole new sound for us at that moment. He he had
from the
just left the
Spinners.
Spinners. He had just left the Spinners. He had no job. He was sitting around the studio watching us do Knee Deep. He said, "That's a hit, bro." Bub, he called me Bub. He said, "But if I was on there," I said, "Say no more." He went into this booth 12 minutes into the song. That song is 15 minutes.
He don't come on till like at the end.
12 minutes into the song. And he takes it home too.
But that show you how good it was, though. Y'all made a song that was 15 minutes long and nobody said turn it off. If
No.
anything, when it went off, they say put it back on.
Yeah, that was a rarity. I tried that a couple of more times. And people told me, take that shit off.
No,
You
you
know?
changed the game with that. That's what
Yeah.
music was about. That was a song, like in my early days, that song would come on at all house parties, and all of the gangsters would just dance to that song all night long. That music was meditation, man.
But you know, and then it got to the point in time for like for sampling, it's a good song to bring everybody on the dance floor, then take it off. You know, like me, myself, and I, block,
Yeah,
block, block. You could use those songs just for the intro to get everybody on the floor and change to another song. That was a DJ. That was the DJ tactic that we used on, you know, like a lot of our songs, the Mothership Connection, for instance. That was supposed to be a whole DJ set. That was a DJ on the radio.
Wow, because this is the radio station.
WEFUNK.
Exactly.
We funk.
We took all that. I got radio station 187.4 FM on your dial, W Balls. We came right behind you, baby.
I remember the day now.
Yeah, you already know.
Shit. I mean, we was there when K-Day was so hot. You know, we thought we lived in L.A.
Man, K-Day was so hot for Uncle Jam and Uncle Jam's Army and all that stuff y'all was putting together. It was tremendous, man. Uncle Jam's Army, they was so funked out. They just took it to a whole new level. That's my G's out here on the West.
I talked to Battle Cat and Dre. I don't talk to Dre, but I talked to Battle Cat, you know, about those days. But I remember when they first said, could we use the name? But, hey, we used to take our records to them to let them play them.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Roger Clayton, DJ Pooh, Mix Masters, man. This is all the West Coast that I grew up on, man. They was an extension of y'all. We loved y'all, and they was like y'all little homies that was pushing it to us, making us love it.
We brought Roger out there, Zap, More Bounce to the Ounce.
Y'all brought More Bounce to the Ounce out?
Yeah, I produced More Bounce to the Ounce.
What?
I brought that. Come on, Snoop. Now you got to get your Dogg history. Yes.
You produced More Bounce to the Ounce.
I produced More Bounce, more. Look, I mean, ask the Troutman, ask the brothers, ask the group. I produced and wrote More Bounce to the Ounce with them. I sampled the bass line from another song they had called Funky Bounce. Before there was sampling, you had to cut it with tape. You had to cut the tape and piece it together. Okay, wasn't no sampling, you know, to make a loop.
The slave and the master.
You had to make a loop, yes. Ask the Troutmans, yes. I mean, listen to More Bounce now and put it up next to Knee Deep in One Nation in Aqua Boogie. You hear that same United Sound hand clap.
That's that clap. That's your. Oh, how many hands was in the room?
I don't know. That was a bunch. That was a lot of tracks, but it's about 4 of us doing it. But it's a lot of tracks. You know, and Overton Lord did the cover. Him and Ronald Edwards. They did the cover right in the studio while we was recording.
They drew it right there.
They drew that first Zap cover right in the studio
with the letters, because that's the same artist that do your shit.
Yes, that's Overton Lord and Ronald Edwards. Yes.
And you see how my first album is just like, it's doggy style. It's in cartoon. My cousin Joe Cool did it in the same spirit of your shit. Just like.
Okay.
Hey, it's a record that I fucking love that was on the B side. It was just the other day, Dogg Talk by
Pretty C. Yeah, I just saw my boy in